I have enormous respect for you guys. It was your young generation. Tumra shob ejinish shob kontona koriso. Tumra shob change poriborton koriso. So you know, I'm a very optimistic person, and আমি চারবার election হয়েছে কারণ ওই দেশে normally election every 5 years normally. But in the last few years, we had a very unstable period as well. I'm 10 years now an MP, but I've done what should have been 20 years in half the time, because we had elections in 2015, 2017, 2019 and 2024. So we had an unstable period ourselves. But it's really interesting to see. So, I mean, as was described, আমার মা বাবার দুইজন পাবনা থেকে আসছে অনেক আগে 1960s, বাংলাদেশের হওয়ার আগে. And আমি মানুষ হয়েছে লন্ডনে. I grew up in the area I now represent as an MP in Ealing. It's in West London. Anyone been to London here? কেউ গেছে এখানে লন্ডনে কোনো সময়? Hand up if you've been to London. Okay, did you go to Heathrow Airport? If you used Heathrow Airport, you have been to Ealing. So between the Heathrow Airport and central London, you have to pass by Ealing. So you maybe came to my area and you didn't know it. And, you know, আমি জীবনে অনেকবার বেশি কোনো দেশে আসি না এখানে. In fact, the first time I came, I'm born in 1972. Who's good at maths? You can work out how old I am, right? And also, I first came in 1989. So, you know, between 0 and 17, I mean, you know, I heard stories from my mum and dad, but I never came for a long time. And I think this is my 6th time now, so I don't come very often. I was here in May. I was here for a UNDP conference, and it's interesting to see the changes, because I was there before in the Bangladesh 1.0, and now I'm seeing the Bangladesh 2.0, and I've been here with a trade delegation this week. So some of them are in the room. Big Babshar Malik, and these are all people with investments, and you know, we're talking about investment, climate and economy. But for me, the politics is interesting because I'm a politician. And যখন আমি ছিলাম মে মাসে মনে করেছি যে এটা খুব বেশি হেলথি না, এই সব একই মানুষ সব জায়গাতে, this father of the nation thing, for me I found it a little bit strange যে সব জায়গাতে দুইটা ছবি আছে, হাসিনার ছবি তারপরে মুজিবের ছবি everywhere. The eyes are following you around the room. When you sit in a room, there's 2 pictures, and just to me that seemed a bit strange. Murti turti shob jagate. You know, you shouldn't have this much hero worship. That's why I find it strange, guys. You keep talking about me, because I'm not into hero worship. I think we shouldn't be about personalities. We should be about the policies and building the future. And this is not about me. It's about the young people and what they did. Bangladesh is a young country. If you compare it to England, which has been there, you know, we learn about the history of 1066, and it existed before 1066. So Kupurandesh, which is England, Bangladesh, young country, 1971, and I heard, I mean, should I see, 27 is the median age, so young workforce. That shouldn't mean, though, that it's exploited. We know about the ready-made garments. Probably all the, you know, clothes English people are wearing. My own son, I mean, I can now Marcelo Shate, Celo Beach Boy, Shama Shatashte. I think he deserves a round. So the other day, আমার একটা খালাতো বোন জিজ্ঞেস করেছে ওর সাইজ কত, কারণ আমি ওর শার্ট কিনতে চাই, and I looked in the collar, what is his size, and what does it say? Made in Bangladesh. So, you know, that makes me proud to see made in Bangladesh, but at the same time, I don't want to see just exploitation. Jodi amra khali chinta kori, you know, minimum ki poisha dite pari, maximum কি প্রফিট নিতে পারে এটা ভালো না and we know what do people know Bangladesh for in the film by Al Gore remember Al Gore he was the vice president to Clinton he made this film A Very Inconvenient Truth and they mentioned Bangladesh will be underwater in 100 years I'm not sure Dubai you know this kind of climate vulnerability is a worry about this country so we need to build a sustainable future and also what do people know for the garments industry Rana Plaza this disaster you know collapsing buildings and we have a climate of fast fashion people want to buy you know dui poishar jinish and it will last 2 minutes and that's not good if we're consumerist people just accumulating it's wasteful so you know with the businessmen we've got some very high caliber people who came on the visit and we've met some very high caliber people chief advisor and I found him to be a really you know if you think after a revolution and uprising like this could go two ways. It could be really dangerous what happens, but because he's a reassuring figure, so because of that, there's a trust and belief in this man that I think he's held it together. It could have been, and sometimes if you read the media, maybe it's coming from, I don't know where, maybe from Modi, maybe from somewhere. If you believe what the British media tells you, you would think that there's anarchy in the streets. You know, that there's a... You kind of imagine if you read the British media or hear some of the things that other MPs, not me, have been saying in our parliament, that everything's on fire, Hindus are being attacked wherever they go on every street corner. I have been reassured to see it's relatively peaceful and calm out there. I mean, you know, just the Dhaka Shahar Shop Shumai Jam you know, the traffic we haven't got rid of. So, as I say, between May and now, what have I seen? In some senses, everything changed. In other senses, everything is the same. The same traffic, same tulu, balu, all this stuff is still there. So I'm optimistic because I think the changes you guys make as young students, hopefully, because I think the other day, someone said to me, "Kali manusha duijin ishjane noka batan." So the two symbols of the two parties, either the sheaf of wheat or the boat, the two big parties, BNP or Awami League. It shouldn't just be that they're alternating, that there's corruption. You know, before my level of Bangla, as I say, we always spoke English, me and my sisters, we always spoke English back. And people thought that's weird, but for us in our house that was totally natural. And so my level of Bangla was like, or this kind of level of, you know, or whatever, this type of Bangla. Whereas now, this time I've learned all these new words. Shorkar, Poriborton, Rajniti, Durniti. Okay, I mean, but just this time on this new visit, I have learnt new vocabulary, and I think that the Durniti should not continue. You know, we've heard, and I think some reference was made to another colleague in the parliament. I really don't know where, but because this is the Bangladeshi people's money. And if it's going out, we do have legislation in the UK. There was something called a Criminal Finances Act. I was the shadow minister at the time when that was happening. So there are asset tracing mechanisms, there is a thing called an unexplained wealth order, there's a serious fraud office, there's a financial conduct authority, the structures are there. But often enforcement, they're not being enforced for many reasons. So we know with people like, who here follows football? Do you know Chelsea football team? Anyone know Chelsea? Roman Abramovich. So people like that, they put sanctions on him quickly. When the Ukraine war started, we went hard after the money laundering from Russia. So we need to be consistent. We need to do that everywhere. We need to be consistent on everything. We know there's a Ukraine war. We need to be consistent. There's a Gaza war as well. That's, you know, that's a sad thing as well. But that's getting off the subject a bit. So, and it was mentioned, the Magnitsky sanctions. Someone mentioned it today. So again, these mechanisms need to be enforced. Other things I saw, what else did we see? We spoke to some students, and I want to hear from you guys, because really, as I say, it's not about me talking at you. I want to learn as well. There is a big diaspora community. I think the number I said there was, did I say 600,000 or something?
It's more than that.
More than that. Okay, official figure, unofficial figure, sometimes there is a...
Around million.
Okay, so Liton Pai is saying 1 million Bangladeshis in UK.
Yeah.
Really? That many? Anyway, but anyway, in the world, Shara Dunyare, Bangalir Shob Jagaite. So me and my son, Rafi and me, we were in Greece, in Athens, when August the 5th happened. And even there, you could see there's a whole Bangali Elagaza Ohene in Greece. People really happy when the news happened. They're all on their phone, they're all excited. I think in Paris, Rome, all these places, East London, there was protests before. So in solidarity with you guys, just earlier this year, I do another role I do in the UK Parliament, as well as, so we're definitely in the flight path here, aren't we? Yeah, so one role I do is I do election monitoring. So I mean, no, deshe jai, jochen election hoy, iktu dakashuna kori je shoki sutikta hoy jache. And so this year, we have seen it's been a year of elections. I think they're saying half of the planet has been to the polls. So, this last year, America, UK, India, and I personally went to North Macedonia, Ukraine. So many countries had elections this year. First one was Bangladesh. They never invited me to do observation there.